so I just went to go see Jordan Peele's Get Out, and
she's not that hot.
it was pretty good, considering not only the fact that this film is Jordan Peele's directorial debut, but also surprisingly high ratings and the impressively brainless buzz surrounding it. I was extremely eager to see this movie, and I'm extremely glad I did. For his directorial debut, Jordan Peele does a pretty great job. He manages to create a horror film that is self-aware, comedic, and offers a lot of interesting insight and criticisms of our world today. Plus, the horror aspect of this film is very well executed, and my opinion on that has nothing to do with race. I swear to you guys, I have black friends, so I can connect with this movie a lot. It managed to get under my skin fairly easily, and gave a lot of creepy imagery that stuck with me since my viewing. The only thing I criticize from the horror is the jump scares. I've been debating with myself over the nature of them, because I feel as if the intention was to make them satirical, but even if this was the case, it felt pretty poorly done. But when it comes to everything else, it's pretty great. No surprise about the comedy considering who directed this movie. There's one character that's just essentially comic relief, but he actually develops, if only slightly, and causes a fair amount of investment to be put on him. Surprisingly, the commentary that is presented blends into the plot of the film very well. Whereas most of the films would take the time to have their characters flat out monologue the director's opinions, this one takes it upon itself to not shove its message down your throat, and instead actually challenge the viewers. Something else that surprised me was the pretty great visuals. The film had an excellent use of colors that fit in very well with the overall feel and atmosphere, and in general the film is just very well shot, especially when it comes to the horrific scenes. I was ultimately satisfied with the film, and I would recommend it to those that aren't offended by the sight of a dog taking a crap. The amount of backlash the film has received for being racist or any other arbitrary criticism has effectively reminded me of just how mental our society is. People bitch and moan about how white-dominated and racist Hollywood is, and then turn around and criticize a film like this because it's supposedly anti-white propaganda, which if you've seen the film, you know that to not be the case. Or at least I hope so. Here to present his juicy thoughts on the film and the controversy around it is the spiciest meme lord himself, Movie Outhouse.
Thanks for having me, Justin, or should I say Cynical Cypher. I had no idea what to expect with this being Jordan Peele's first feature-length film, but it's clear he already has all the right ideas. It's impressive that he's able to balance horror, comedy, and political commentary in such a short runtime. While this functions much better as a satire of some social and current events, the long-standing feeling of dread and suspicion are felt throughout. You don't even have to be a certain demographic to find this scary. If someone like me, white as the mayonnaise I spread on everything I eat, can feel this uncomfortable during a film about racial struggle, then you can too. Even on a simplistic level, you can relate to feeling unwelcome and vulnerable. You're going to feel fully invested in the protagonist's situation no matter what your connection is to Stuckman. Unless you're a regular at Breitbart.com, then you'll probably see the villains as the heroes of the story. Get Out isn't just about trashing Republicans. As smug as I felt in my Michael Moore constructed ivory tower, Get Out also took a stab at the other side of the political spectrum. Guess what? Everyone can be racist. Racism isn't specifically tied to the Klan or frog enthusiasts. It also dwells in the people that try too hard to not be racist. You know, the types that spend a bit too much time to remind people how tolerant they are. They're just as much under attack in Get Out as the classic Confederate flag-waving, skull-chewing racist. Peele does as much as he can to objectively break down both sides' racist behaviors and give everyone in the audience something to think about. This is by no means an Oscar-winning film, but it manages to make some very interesting points and will at least start a discussion. Sometimes the best way to reach people through difficult issues is through comedy. People love to laugh, and when you give them something to chew on while losing it over penis jokes and farts, you have a moment to truly capture them. As much as people want to deny it, racism is still very much an issue. Maybe I'm a cuck, but we should treat people like people. They're not a little trophy to put on your shelf with the rest of your anime toys. They're just like you.
At the end of the day, it's just a funny horror movie that might make you think a little, which at this point, with people choosing to ignore the facts and listen to their emotions instead, is certainly welcome. Because of the surprising greatness of the film and all the other aspects that blend into a very competent horror comedy film, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10.
Oh, what? You gave Get Out a 7 out of 10? Racist.
I'd like to give a big thanks to Movie Outhouse for joining me on this review. He is certainly one of my favorite content creators right now, and I wholeheartedly recommend you go and check out his channel. But as always, let me know what you all thought about Get Out down in the comment section below, and I'll see you all later.